Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 738th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As a lot of you know, we've been playing 31k for the last 14 years, so recently we've been trying new types of battles, fighting on seldom used maps as well, just to try and inject some new life and new excitement into Rome Total War, into our battles here for you to watch. So this is a 40k no rules battle, and this is fought on the Thracian foothills map. We've fought on this map before, as you've seen, those of you that watch our battle videos regularly. We fought on this map before, but this might have only been the second or maybe third battle of 40k no rules on this particular map. Now this map is seldom ever hosted on. In fact, maybe I might be the only person that ever hosts on this map these days, but many years ago this was a very popular map for people to fight on, because if you look at all the dips, ups and downs on this map, this is a very tactical and strategic map. And there's lots of different things you can do on this map to win battles. That's why it's so tactical and strategic. And as I say, many years ago, this was a very, very popular map that was used by a lot of people. But sadly today, I think, as I say, I may be the only person to ever host on this map now. And remember, it's the Thracian foothills map. And as I say, in our quest to do different battles on different maps, this is a 40k each no rules battle. And what a battle I've got for you today. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member TR. Now TR has got 5 archers, 3 berserkers, 2 knight raiders, 2 chosen axemen, 2 spear warband and 5 cavalry. So he's got an extremely diverse Germanic army here. And if we have a closer look at it, here you'll see he's got his knight raiders there. Okay. And if you look at the upgrades there, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 fully upgraded Knight Raiders. Now these guys are good infantry in their own right, but they bring a big fear factor, sapping morale from enemy troops. And there you are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, fully upgraded. 3 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And they really are Germanic shock troops there. Then you've got the spear warband there. If you count their upgrades, they're all fully upgraded. Notice they are spearmen here, anti-cavalry spearmen, but you'd be surprised on how well they can hold up infantry as well. You don't see these units in modern Germanic armies that much these days, but many years ago, Germanic generals used to bring a lot of these units because they can be very, very effective. As I say, if you count the upgrades there, 9 upgrades fully upgraded there as well. And if we move over here, as I say, just looking at these Germanic units there, he's got his chosen axemen. Now remember, those axes are effective against armour and cut wide swathes through heavily armoured troops like Roman infantry, for instance. Plus, they've got excellent morale like urban cohorts as well. So make no mistake, these guys used properly can be quite devastating troops. And then, of course, we've got the ultimate shock troops here, the Germanic berserkers. Okay, they've got those effective against armor maces. They've got their 2 hit points and a huge morale sapping ability. Remember, the more morale that units can sap from the enemy, the more the enemy are likely to rout, more susceptible to routing there. But just look at the size of ordinary infantry against those berserkers. Just look how large those berserkers are in comparison to ordinary infantry. So as I say, those are the ultimate Germanic shock troops, those berserkers. And there we are, we've got his Gothic cavalry. Count the upgrades there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fully upgraded Gothic cavalry as well. Have a look at the specifications of this cavalry. You'll be surprised on how tough this cavalry is. And that is, those cavalry really good there. So I think that's a pretty diverse and exciting Germanic army there. I don't know what you guys think. Be interesting to see how well TR does that. And notice it's a winter map, so all barbarian troops get a bonus from a winter map, from a snow bonus is what it's called, I believe. But it's a winter or snow bonus, and all barbarian troops get that, so that's what they're going to get on this map. Our next teammate is Legion 22, RTW player Legion 22. Now he's got 11 infantry, 3 archers, 4 cavalry and 2 artillery. Check out the upgrades on his infantry. You'll see, if you count them there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 upgrades, and experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack on his infantry. Okay, and I think he's got some serious archers, if I remember correctly. Let's count the upgrades there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, fully upgraded archers. Now these archer auxiliary are elite archers in their own right, but if you fully upgrade them, you've got some serious archers there. So it'll be interesting to see how well he uses those during the course of the battle. And my guess is he's probably bought some quite good cavalry as well, maybe. Yeah, look at the upgrades. 1, 2, 3. Fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. That takes them out of the super bracket into the elite bracket there. So, wow, look at that. That's a pretty good Roman army. And if you notice here, I think the hills are so steep that his troops look like they're almost going to fall off the edge of how steep these hills are. So, as I say, a very tactical and strategic map this, used a lot back in the old days of Rome Total War. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Man 2. Now, Man 2's got 14 Sacred Band Spearmen, 3 cavalry, a cavalry general, and 2 elephants. So, he's got a reasonably diverse army here. Check out the upgrades on his Sacred Band Spearmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fully upgraded Sacred Band Spearmen. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. We know these Sacred Band Spearmen are tough in their own right, but you fully upgrade them, and that's some serious spearmen there. Just check one from one side to the other. Yeah, fully upgraded spearmen. So all of his Sacred Band Spearmen are fully upgraded. Let's have a look at his cavalry there. And he's just got light cavalry there, and he's just got gold shield, gold attack on them, because of course he spent the bulk of his money on his infantry there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's got yeah, there you are. He's got what, the cheaper elephants. You've got the armoured elephants and the ordinary elephants, heavy elephants here, and he's gone for the ordinary heavy elephants. But remember, these guys have got 12 hit points, so that gives them a big advantage as well. And of course, he's got an armoured cavalry general there, which probably has got some good upgrades on as well. So that's Man 2's Carthage army there, heavily weighted on his spearmen there. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does with that during the course of the battle. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, and I've got 12 Spartans, 4 archers, 2 cavalry, and 2 artillery. Okay, so that's my my Greek cities army there. And if you notice there, I've got mixed upgrades. Most of my infantry have got an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack, and a couple of my units there have just got gold shield, gold attack, but we know Spartans are pretty good with just gold shield, gold attack anyway. I've got 2 of these fast moving general armoured bodyguard units there, and the reason I've bought these 2 units is to protect my artillery. Okay, so I've just got 2 of those, because I'm just thinking if the enemy sends, let's say, 1 fast-moving cavalry unit over to take my artillery out, at least I've got a little bit of cavalry cover there to cover my my artillery. So there's our team there. I think it's a really great, diverse team there. I mean, you've got Germanic there with TR, you've got Rome with Legion, we've got Carthage with Man 2, and Greek cities with myself. It's got the potential to be a cracking battle. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Uther. Now, Uther's got 9 horse archers, 6 cataphracts, 1 elephant, and 1 hillman units there. Okay, so there's a close look at the horse archers. Remember, though, that at 40k, enemy infantry are going to have a lot better upgrades on than they would in 31k. So I don't think horse archers are going to do as much damage to enemy troops in 40k as what they would do in 31k, if you see what I mean. Because, as I say, with 40,000, the enemy troops are going to be a lot better upgraded, so they're going to suffer less damage from horse archers there. But as I say, that's a lot of firepower that Uther's bringing to the battlefield. Be interesting to see how well they do. And then he's got his cataphracts. Let's have a quick look at the upgrades that his cataphracts are, and he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his cataphracts. There's a close-up of them. We call these guys the tanks of the ancient world because they're armoured from head to toe, and used properly they can be battle-winning troops there. So, as I say, got a lot of firepower and some fierce cavalry there. His general unit is a hillman unit there. Very rare to see that, and it's only got gold shield, gold attack on for his general. And then he's got his elephants there. And remember, these elephants have got 12 hit points, so it takes a lot to kill them. Plus, they got those archers on the back of the elephants as well, shooting arrows into enemy troops. So, and don't forget the massive fear factor the elephants bring as well. So there's Uther's Parthian army there. Be interesting to see how well that does during the course of the battle. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman. Now, Barclayman has got 15 pikes, 1 archer, 2 cavalry and 2 chariots. So he's also got quite a diverse army there. And you have a look at the upgrades on his Pontus pikemen there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fully upgraded Pontus pikemen. Fully upgraded. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And just look at the length of those Pontus pikes that our men have got to try and fight down to kill the man on the other end. So that's going to be a real challenge there. Fully upgraded Pontus pikemen. He's also got a chariot unit here. Now remember, these chariots have got big attacking specifications. They've got a massive fear factor, taking morale away from enemy troops, but they really are a double-edged sword, because if they run amok, they kill both friend and foe alike and become a menace to both friend and foe alike on the battlefield. And strangely enough, in amok mode, they seem to be stronger than in normal mode. They seem to kill more in amok mode than in normal mode, which always seems a bit strange to me. So they really are a double-edged sword if you decide to bring chariots. And also he's got cavalry unit there as well, Eastern general unit there. He's only got gold shield, gold attack on, but these I think, if I remember correctly, these are some of the best cavalry in the game. If you look at their specifications, they've got huge specifications there, those particular units. So that will be his Pontus army there. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Earth. Now get ready for this. Earth has got 20 pike units. Yes, 20 Macedonian Royal Pikemen pike units. Now remember that these units have got 121 men in, and just those of you that like statistics, 20 units at 121 man per unit makes an incredible 2,420 men. So Earth's army has got 2,420 men, and he's got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his pikemen. And once again, look at the length of those Macedonian pikes that our men have got to fight down to kill the man on the other end. So there you are, Earth's army, 20 pikemen, which equates to 2,420 men. So what a massive pike army that we're up against there. I mean, oh my gosh, and we know Macedonian pikes there have got good specifications as well, so that's going to be a difficult battle, I think. Their next teammate is someone who's called himself OTD Chinsrig, but is in fact Scorpion King SR. Now he's just got 7 infantry, 4 artillery, and 8 cavalry. Okay, quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and you'll see that he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his Praetorian cavalry. He's got an old school armoured cavalry general there, which is something that we all used to use up to about 14 years ago, when most of us switched to infantry generals there, and you'll see that that's a fully upgraded Roman armoured cavalry general there. Going to take a lot of killing with 2 hit points. As I say, old school that is. There, seeing that type of general. And of course he's got his artillery, and he's got his infantry. A very small amount of infantry though, just 7 infantry. So there's the enemy team, very diverse as well there, and it'll be interesting to see who gets up on top of this hill first, whether it be Man 2 with his Carthaginians, or whether it be Earth with his Macedonians there. Should be a great one for you to watch. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle, we've literally just pressed start here. You'll see that Man 2 is running his Carthaginians forward really quickly, and you'll see there that Earth is just running his Macedonian army forward as well there, just to get up on top of this hill here. And it looks like it's a pretty neutral position there for both of the armies there, by the looks of it to me. Let's pause the game for a second here. But just want to show you something here. Can you see the length of those Macedonian pikes there? Just look at the length of those pikes there. Look how long they are up against the short spears of Carthage. But remember that Carthage punches above its weight when it fights these 121 man units, and you can see the Macedonians are on slightly higher ground there. If you notice, they're just on slightly higher ground there for Man 2 to actually attack. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Okay, but over here you'll see that I've got my artillery there guarded by my 2 cavalry, and I'm running my Spartans up onto the hill there to try and help Man 2. But you'll notice here that Scorpion King has got his well upgraded cavalry, and make no mistake, he is heading for my 2 artillery pieces there to take out the Onagar crews, and then of course the artillery will become useless then. There's loads going on in this battle all at the same time. Here you can see Barky Man running his Pontus army forward there, looking to get on a slightly higher ground than Legion. Okay, you can see Legion there, so Pontus is going to be on higher ground to him. And over here you'll see that Uther is launching his horse archers against Germania there. Okay, now if you notice here, you'll see that TR has got those 220 man spear units there, look, which he's going to put as a screening force, a covering force if you like, to try and take the horse archer arrows there, while he moves the rest of his army to maybe safer higher ground. That's what it looks like TR is trying to do there. With his troops, putting those 120 man spear units there, as I say, to take the arrows while he moves the rest of his army away from the danger of those horse archers. As I say, it's one of the most difficult battles I've ever filmed because there's so much going on at the same time. So please bear with me on this. As I say, it's a very, very difficult battle to film because, as I say, from one end of the battle to the other, there's things going on all the time here. There you can see Man 2 advancing with his Carthaginians into Earth Macedonians there. Okay. Now, one thing I'll say, what I found on 40k no rules battles is when you use your artillery, once your allies or your own troops have got engaged with enemy troops, do not fire your fire pots over the top of the heads of your troops, because what you'll find is those fire pots are so inaccurate, you'll kill a lot of your own men. So as you can see, Scorpion King is still shooting fire pots there over his Macedonian allies' troops there. Meanwhile over here, as I say, Scorpion King here is looking to take out my artillery pieces. But first of all, look, you'll see that he's going to take out our Carthaginian allies' cavalry, and he's got, I see Man 2's got his elephants in there as well. I've got my 2 armoured cavalry general units there, which have both been routed, I believe, now. And then of course this is what Scorpion King's really after, my artillery and probably my archers as well. So as I say here, I think it might have been a mistake me bringing artillery to this particular battlefield here. I should have learned from last battles there, battles from the past there, not to really bring artillery, because as I say, Greek cities have got no decent cavalry, so unless my allies have got a lot of decent cavalry there, you can see even Man 2's elephants and all his light cavalry has now been routed, and Scorpion King will now go to take out the crews of my artillery pieces there to make them useless. Here, as I say, you can see Barclay Man here with his Pontus army. Now, he's got no artillery. Okay, so if you go up against an opponent who's got artillery, okay, so you can see Legion's got a couple of artillery units here, okay, but Barclay Man's got no artillery at all. So if you go up against an army with artillery, you've only got 3 alternatives. You can either try and keep your army out of range. Okay, you could try and keep your army out of range there, but that means those Onagars have got such long range, you'd be keeping your army really a long way away from the battle there to try and keep out of range. Or secondly, you could just stand there and get blown to pieces by the enemy archers. Or thirdly, you can attack, even if you're not ready to attack or you don't want to attack. The third option is to attack and try and get through to those artillery pieces through the enemy troops. So as I say, not bringing artillery can be a big disadvantage sometimes on these 40k no rules battle, because now Legion's got free rein just to shoot fire pots into these Pontus pikemen, causing them massive casualties, and there's nothing that you know, the Pontus general can do except maybe attack. And does he want to attack now against those well upgraded Brutii infantry, or did he just stand there and get hit by the fire pots? You know, it's a very difficult decision to have to make if you've got no artillery. Right, over here on our right flank, you'll see Uther is bringing his cataphracts forward there towards our Germanic allies' troops there, and you can see the horse archers there of Uther also moving in on our Germanic troops. Remember, barbarian troops are very susceptible to archer damage, and as I say, you can see Uther bringing his cataphracts in there to charge in. But if you notice here, you'll see that TR has put that spear unit into close tight formation. It was in open formation there, and those anti-cavalry spears will be ready to receive a cavalry attack there into those units. And as I say, all those horse archers of Uther will be shooting into our Germanic ally as well. As I say, it's a very difficult battle to film this, because as I say, there's so much going on at the same time. So I just hope that I can get most of it in for you there. You can see here Mantu's Carthaginians fighting the Macedonians there. I've got my Spartans facing away there towards those other units of Earth. If you notice there, he's got 5 or 6 units over there which may well attack Mantu's flank, so I'm ready for that. But as I say, you can see here, mostly here, it's Mantu fighting those Macedonians there. And as I say, just look at the length of those Macedonian pikes. I know we saw it earlier, but actually in combat, look at the length of those pikes against the short spears of the Carthaginians there. So make no mistake, that's going to be a real problem, I think, there. And also here you can see that Scorpion King's moving his 7 infantry up here, probably to flank Mantu, and he's got all his cavalry there as well, and he's got cavalry in behind us as well there, ready to maybe charge into the rear of the engaged troops of Mantu. So I need to watch that from my ally. Can you see my Spartans have already been hit by a fire pot? See all those Spartans there that's been hit by a fire pot from Scorpion King there. So as I say, there's a lot going on here all at the same time there. But you can see Mantu making some good inroads into the Macedonians there. And over here, over on our far right flank there, you can see there are Uther's charges, cataphracts in there like a bang as he charges. This is a great bit of support by Legion 22 with his fully upgraded Brutii cavalry like a bang as he smashes it into Uther's cataphracts there. And I think by the looks of it, it looks like Legion had a slight downhill bonus there as well against those cataphracts. You can see Uther is now alt-attacked with his horse archers, but remember, those horse archers are just light cavalry there if you alt-attack them. And you can see now, for all intents and purposes, we have routed the vast majority of Uther's Parthian army there. So well done to TR, and with great support from Legion 22 there, we've routed most of Uther's Parthian army. Over here, he's still got that elephant unit. He's got his general unit left as well. But that's all he's got left now. All his horse archers and all his cataphracts have now been routed. Now, whether any of them are rally or not, I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. But over here, as I say, Barclay Man here with his Pontus troops there and no artillery is just getting loads of fire pot shot at him. But lucky for him, the fire pots are so inaccurate that they're missing a lot of his troops. So that's good news there. Now over here, I've seen that Mantu's struggling a little bit against those long pikes of Macedon there. So I've moved my Spartans over. I'm going to put some units to help Mantu fight the Macedonians, but also I'm going to have to use some of my units there to try and counter Scorpion King's Julii infantry that is coming up behind us there. Can you see that Julii infantry there? So I'm going to need to turn some units there to fight the Julii infantry. Meanwhile here, you'll see Scorpion King still shooting his fire pots into the melee. So make no mistake, those fire pots will be killing his men, his allies' men, as well as our men as well. So look at that fire pot. Looks like it's just going to hit some of his own Julii infantry there. Looking at the trajectory of that fire pot there, it might just miss them and hit the other Julii unit there. Bang! You see, he just killed his own men with a fire pot there. So as I say, at this stage of the battle, I wouldn't be shooting fire pots into the melee, because, like I say, you'll be killing your allies' troops and your own troops as much, or maybe even more, than the enemy troops there. So anyway, you can see here, I've joined forces now with Mantu. So my Spartans and Mantu's Sacred Band units there are moving in, fighting towards those Macedonians. You can see Earth has brought those Macedonian units he had over a little bit further over on the battlefield there. I've got my Spartan units facing the Julii infantry as well. So as I say, I'm trying to help Mantu against the Macedonians, as well as facing units against the enemy Julii troops there. You can see Barclay Man sending over a couple of his Pontus pikemen as well to add to the weight of the enemy troops attacking us. And as I say, you can see all the Scorpion King's Julii infantry is in behind us as well. And don't forget, he's got his cavalry probably locked and loaded, ready to charge in as well there. So as I say, those fire pots that just killed a load of his Macedonian allies there. So as I say, at this stage of the battle, best not to shoot your fire pots in there. You can see there that a lot of Macedonian units there, those fire pots still shooting, those artillery pieces still shooting fire pots into the melee here. And as I say, killing both friend and foe alike. And probably his teammates have said some well thought out words to him about that as well. But the fire pots are still coming in there. There you are. You see if it hits. Imagine if one of his fire pots hits those densely formed Macedonian pikes, how much damage it could do. But here you can see, as I say, the Julii infantry in behind us there, ready to throw all their pilers. And did you just see that fire pot hit Scorpion King's own Julii infantry there? Cause them a lot of damage. Right, those two pike units from Pontus there has just moved in to help their allies. So let's say now I'm moving my Spartans with my Carthage ally out there into the Macedonian pikemen there. You can see some of those Macedonian pikemen are already starting to rout, but also I've got to turn units there to counter these Julii infantry that are coming in behind us as well there. Okay, so there's a lot of Scorpion King's infantry there that he hasn't committed yet, which he can throw into the fray there, and we know that his cavalry will be locked and loaded. As I say, Barclayman's brought a couple of his pikemen over from his army here to help his allies there try and take out my Greek cities and Mantu's Carthaginians there. So there's a lot going on there at the moment on this particular hill. Plus, as I say, you can see Scorpion King's well upgraded cavalry ready to smash into our troops there, which could be the final charge on this hill there that would take us all out and sweep us off that hill there. But meanwhile here you can see that Barclayman's still holding with his Pontus pikemen there against the enemy Brutii troops there of Legion 22. So as I say there, you can see there's a fire pot that possibly from Scorpion King SR's artillery there has landed in among Legion 22's infantry. But here you can see there's a chariot unit of TRs there chasing TR's infantry there. I mean, sorry, that's a chariot unit of Barclayman there. But you can see TR moving his Germanic army over towards Legion to try and help Legion against those pikes. Because, of course, there's no Parthian cavalry left now, I don't think, unless there's some rallied units, because TR's done a lot of damage to them. There we can see TR's archers in close, tight formation now, shooting volumes of arrows into that one chariot unit of Barclayman's. And here you got the infamous Berserkers there, are going to be the most powerful units in the game, ready to be committed into the battle just when TR feels it's right. Here, as I say, is a fire pot, I think, fired by Scorpion King SR. Look at the damage it's done to Legion 22's infantry. I mean, that is a massive... This is the power of fire pots, what they can do if they hit into dense infantry there. So, as I say, always dangerous there, but you can see Scorpion King still shooting his fire pots in. Right, here comes Scorpion King's cavalry. Okay, get ready for this. He's going to smash in there with those well upgraded cavalry. Get ready for this. And bang! As he smashes in there with his cavalry. Just look at that massive cavalry hit there as well. Oh my gosh, and bang! As those units really smash into my Spartan units there. But luckily, I saw that cavalry attack coming, and if you notice there, I've turned the bulk of my spearmen to receive that cavalry attack. I've sent one spear unit out there to hold up that Macedonian unit that was coming in behind me. If you notice that, one unit there just to hold him up, well, I turned the rest of my Spartans into receiving that Julii cavalry attack by Scorpion King there. So I just managed to turn in time. As I say, I'm holding that Macedonian unit up. Here you can see Mantu using his Carthaginians well against the Macedonian pikes there. As I say, there's so much going on all over the battlefield at the same time. I found this one of the most difficult battles to film that I think I've had to do in all the battles that I've done there. It's a very difficult battle to film to get everything in there. But you can see my Spartans there really repelling that Julii cavalry attack there. Don't forget there's Julii infantry in there as well. Plus you got those Pontus pikemen that Barclayman has sent over here as well. Okay, so now you can see I'm fighting slightly uphill now against those Pontus pikemen there of Barclayman's. But as I say, there's a lot going on this particular hill. Over here that you can see Legion 22 is attacked with his Brutii cavalry, and you can see that Scorpion King is countered with his cavalry. But if you notice, Scorpion King's cavalry is very battle weakened there, I think, from my Spartans. So I'll pause the game for a second there. So anyway, this is what's happening on this hill. Over here, I'd just like to show you a really good move by Man 2. He's brought his fast moving rallied cavalry, okay, round the hill there, and just attacked Scorpion King SR's Onagars and killed the Onagar crews. See all the dead crews there and that? So those Onagars, no matter how much ammunition they had left, okay, they are now become useless because Man 2's moved his cavalry round there to take those units out. So well done to Man 2. Nice move there. So say well done there. So to say here you can see my Spartans now are starting to fight uphill a little bit there towards the Pontus pikemen, but over here you'll see Legion's fully upgraded Brutii cavalry now attacking the Julii cavalry of Scorpion King there. As you can see, Scorpion King's cavalry has been very, very battle damaged. Right, here comes TR's Germanic, fully upgraded Germanic cavalry. Look, and bang, as they charge in there as well. So you've got Legion 22 and TR's cavalry there attacking Scorpion King's Julii infantry and cavalry there. So that's really good for us. Good to see that there. And if they can get reinforcements up to that hill, that would be good. Okay, let's pause the game for a second here. So here you've got the Pontus pikemen of Barclayman holding well against Legion 22's and Brutii troops there. Okay, and over here I thought was a great move. You can see that Barclayman has bought one of his side chariot units over here, seeing how Legion's cavalry was away, look, and he's now attacking Legion's artillery units there to take out the Onagar crew. Remember, if you take out the Onagar crews, as I say, no matter how much artillery your Onagars have got left, if the crews are all killed, then that's it. You just got useless artillery there. They're no good anymore. So, as I say, that side chariot there looks like it's chopping down a lot of Legion's Onagar crews. Right, there goes the elephants of Uthers. Look, and bang! As those elephants just charged into Legion's infantry there. Just look at the damage that those elephants are doing there. And if those elephants run amok, they can become a menace as well. There's there's Barclayman charged a chariot unit in there. So you've actually got the fear factor of Uther's elephants plus the fear factor of Barclayman's chariots here attacking Legion 22's Brutii infantry. So there's a lot going on here. There you are, that's elephant units just run amok. Can you see how fast it moves there when it runs amok and how much damage it does there? Oh my gosh, right, let's pause the game for a second. So make no mistake there, the elephant and chariot hit into Legion 22's infantry has caused him a lot of casualties. And I noticed that Barclayman's advancing with his Pontus pikemen at the same time as Legion was being hit in the rear there. Meanwhile, over here you'll see that these berserkers have been activated. You'll see TR has activated his 3 berserkers here, finishing off, I think, Scorpion King's army. Now here you'll notice that it's just my Spartans left on the hill there. Can you see that all of Man 2's Carthaginian army has now been taken out? Okay, you'll see there, can you see at the back there, those Carthage units there of Man 2's, after a fierce fight on the hill, all of Man 2's Carthaginian army has now been taken out and is now routed and running from the battlefield. Okay, so as I say, we've lost our ally completely there now. All of his Carthage Sacred Band is gone. And my Spartans now, with their short spears, are coming up against these long pikes of Macedon here. As I say, you know, it's not something that I really would like to do, is put Spartans against the long pikes of Macedon. But as my units are the only ones left on the hill now, that's what I'm going to do. You can see, just look at the length of those Macedonian pikes and the damage they can do to my Spartans there before my Spartans can even get close in to kill them. But luckily, here comes TR's berserker units. Remember, once they've been activated, those berserkers go for the nearest enemy units. So these berserkers now are going to charge into these Macedonian pikemen there. Okay, you can see that the Macedonians are already saying defeat is a distinct possibility. So their morale is already rock bottom. And my guess is when those berserkers hit, I'm going to press in with my Spartans even more, and we could rout all these Macedonian troops that are left here. Look at those berserkers banging there. Look at that, using their effective against armor maces there. You'll notice that I'm moving my Spartans forward as well there to support the berserkers. And there you go. We've just routed the last of the Macedonian troops there. So don't forget, mind, that Earth had 2,420 troops. 2,420 troops, and they are all now dead or routed. So I think we did well. There's the Macedonian general there, look, been routed. So I think we've done really well here. I think Man 2 did extremely well with his Carthaginians there on that hill. Over the back here you'll see my archers there, and I've got a Rhodian slinger unit in there as well. So I've got 3 Cretan archers and a Rhodian slinger unit shooting into the enemy troops. Okay, and as I say, you can see TR here helping Legion or Ally there against the Pontus pikemen there. You can see Legions actually attacked those Pontus pikemen now. You can see they've probably thrown all their pilots in it, but just look at the length of those Pontus pikes that Legion 22's Brutio infantry are trying to fight down those pikes to kill the man on the other end. There's an amok elephant that probably would be killing, make no mistake, that would be killing both friend and foe alike. Remember, when they run amok, they just kill whatever they run into, so that can be, as I say, friend or foe here. Let's see how he just attacked his own general unit there. But as I say here, Barclay Man doing a good job of holding here at the moment with his Pontus pikemen. But if you notice here, I'm now running my Spartans, or what's left of my Spartan army, over towards those Pontus pikemen there. If you notice there, as you can see, just looking at my Spartans there, you can see how battle damaged my units are. But I'm running them over there to try and get in behind those Pontus pikemen there. As you can see, just running up there, just run up that hill there. But my guys have been fighting for a long time, so I'm guessing my guys are tired. This is a nice move by TR. Look, get his cavalry in behind the Pontus pikemen. He's got some of his infantry in behind the Pontus pikemen as well. I think that's yeah, that's a Night Raider unit, so that'll be sapping the morale of those Pontus pikes there. So as I say, you can see my Spartans now arriving on the scene, trying to get into combat with those Pontus pikemen there. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. So you'll see one man left in one of my units there, like one man. Out of 82 Spartans with their 2 hit points, excellent specifications, one man there. What have I got there? 17 men there. Is it 11 men in that unit? What's that? Oh, 26. That seems a lot, doesn't it? And then, see, you can see here that 26 in that one. And, oh my gosh, I've got a lot in that one. So, as I say, my units have been battle depleted quite a lot there, and I'm just going to charge in there and take on those Pontus pikemen. There you can see them. You can see that Legion's pulled his Brutio infantry back from taking on those Pontus pikemen there head on. And over here I thought you might find this quite interesting. A bit of old school going on here. Okay, can you see this fast moving unit that Barclay Man's got here? Okay, can you see what he's doing here? He's drawing those 3 berserker units, 3 of the most powerful, if not the most powerful units in the game, okay, are chasing that 1 cavalry unit. Remember, when berserkers go amok, they're, instead of being up in the fight up there, but when berserkers run amok, they just chase the nearest enemy unit. And Barclay Man is just taking these powerful units away from the battle with that fast-moving cavalry unit. Okay, this is an old school tactic. You used to see this done years and years ago regularly. You don't see it done that much these days. So you're seeing a time capsule event, if you like, there, of what Barclay Man's doing, drawing those berserkers away from the battle there. As I say, very old school. Meanwhile, over here, as I say, you can see my Spartans attacking up the hill there towards those Pontus pikemen. There you can see I'm running them into combat, and then just as I make contact with Pontus, I'll put my spears down there, and you can see them moving. As I say, you've got the Germanic Night Raiders there as well. As I say, good infantry in their own right, but they bring a big fear factor, taking morale away from enemy troops. Right, that's a Pontus general gone. So Pontus is no longer receiving any general morale bonus, and we know Pontus morale is very low anyway. So you can see there now my Spartans slowly but steadily moving in on those Pontus pikemen there. And you can see there that Barclay Man's got another Pontus unit coming in behind me there. Pause the game for a second there. So you can see that unit coming in with its long pikes towards my tired, battle damaged Spartans there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Mind you, Pontus morale so low, it wouldn't surprise me if it just kind of routed almost on impact there. But just, as I say, just look at the length of those Pontus points against the short spears of my Spartans there. But anyway, that Pontus unit's just routed there, I think. Oh no, maybe not yet, but he's still fighting there. There you are, he's just routed now. So as I say, once the general went, the Pontus morale would have been extremely low there. Okay, let's pause the game for a second here. So it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle here. Look. But what a spread out battle is. Let's get over to this hill first and just look at the damage that the fire pots did to my Spartans. Look at those Spartans there. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 28, 29, 33. There's approximately 32 Spartans there that have been killed with one fire pot. 32, approximately 32 there, been killed by one fire pot. And then look at this. This is even a bigger group of Spartans that have been killed by a fire pot. It just goes to show the devastation that fire pots can really do to dense infantry in close tight formation, which my army was there. You can see other damage there by fire pots there. If you look, you can see whenever you see the scorched bodies there, the burnt, scorched bodies, you know that that's probably fire pots. Might be fire arrows sometimes, but over on this particular part, I think it was mostly fire pots there. And a lot of the fire pots killed their own troops. But just look at the dead here. I mean, this is, I don't know, this hill should be called maybe Last Stand Hill or something like this. But just look at the piles of dead there. I mean, how intense the fighting was on this hill there. Just look. Remember that the Macedonian troops, there was 2,420 of them. But just look at that massive pile of dead there. The intensity of the fighting there, as we saw, was really, really intense. Then we move over here, that you can see a lot of cavalry there and some elephants there, and some enemy infantry there as well. So that was a big fight there. I think we saw that battle there, didn't we, where there was enemy cavalry and our cavalry fighting there. But that was very, very intense. As we move across the battlefield here, you can see more dead, more fire pot casualties there. As I say, the Pontus pikemen were just standing there getting blasted by Legion's artillery there, just because Pontus didn't have any kind of artillery to counter Legions there. Look at the fire pot damage there to looks like the Pontus, a lot of archers there got taken out. But as I say, very, very intense the fighting over on this hill as well. As I say, this map's got those two massive hills there, and very often you'll find that this is where the most dead are concentrated there. See a lot of elephant dead there. As we move across here, there, and then of course over on our right flank where Uther attacked with his Parthian army there, you see a lot of dead as well. Just look at the Parthian cataphracts there, dead. You can see the purple cataphracts there. A lot of horse archers. Remember, he auto-attacked with his horse archers. If you attack with horse archers, all they are light cavalry, and they were going in against good infantry there. So as I say, wherever you look on the battlefield, there seems to be dead. But there are a couple of places where the dead are really piled up. Just look at my infantry here. What have I got left in my units there? That's the entirety of my infantry there. What's it? Just very few men in each unit there. Very, very battle depleted there. So you can see not a lot of infantry left there. That's all the infantry I've got left. To say very battle depleted. You can see Legion there. He's still got some of his infantry left and some of his archers, but he's very battle depleted as well. And as I say, you can see our Germanic allies very battle depleted. I've got some of my archers there and slingers still shooting into the enemy. And of course, don't forget, all of Mantu's Carthaginian army, after a terrific fight on the hill, was completely wiped out. All of Mantu's army, they were, and some of his dead, completely wiped out. But I think he did a great job against Macedon. Remember, Carthage punches above its weight when it comes to the big 121-man units there. So it wouldn't surprise me if Mantu got some good kills. And and over at the back here, look, those three berserkers are still chasing that fast-moving cavalry units of Barclaymans. As I say, I can't tell you how old school, how old fashioned this is. Many, many years ago you used to see this done a lot, but how often do you see it on the modern day battlefield now? Very, very rare. So as I say, it's a bit like taking you back in time there, just to see what was happening there with those berserkers. I think there's only a couple of units of Pontus left there, and it wouldn't surprise me if Barclayman's just admitted defeat there. So as I say, it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle here. And again, first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game there. 40k no rules hill battle. I hope it was really interesting for all of you to watch as well. As you can see, it was an average victory. Okay, I thought it might have been a close victory there, looking at the units that we had left, but it must have just scraped into average. Who had the highest kills? As we thought, Brotherhood member Man 2 with his Carthage army, 1,691 kills. So really well done to Man 2 with his Carthage army facing all those Macedonian troops. 2,420 of them, so well done to him. Well done to Uther. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there with his Parthian army, but he was very aggressive with his horse archers and his cataphracts there. So well done to Uther there. He likes to bring Parthia in these 40k battles. I've noticed he's done it before on this hill map. So well done to him. Well done to Barclayman. Highest kills in his team with his Pontus army there. So well done to Barclayman there. Well done to Earth with his, look at that, like 2,421 men there with his general, of course. That's what makes the odd one there. But the kills that he got, he's probably disappointed with the kills that he got there for the massive army he bought. And well done to Scorpion King. Very unusual to see around 1,000 kills. You don't see that very often, do you? Around 1,000 kills there. So really well played, guys. I thought you played really well. My kills, not very good, really. I don't think my kills were brilliant there. You know, not great, but I suppose I did okay on that hill there, helping Man 2 with Macedon, but yeah, not great kills there for me. But I say well done to Man 2, highest kills in the game there. Well done to Legion 22. Look at that, second highest kills in the game for his Brutii army there. I bet those Firepots got a lot of those kills. And well done to TR with his Germanic faction there. I thought he played really well as well. Remember, all these army builds are all experimental for us. So anyway, a very diverse teamlet. Greek cities, Carthage, Rome and Germania in our team. And the enemy teamlet was Parthia, Pontus, Macedon and Rome. So an extremely diverse battle. And as I say, we're still learning these 40k no rules battles. So our army builds are all experimental. Our tactics and strategies are kind of, we got to think outside the 31k box when we fight these battles. And bearing in mind we've been playing 31k for 14 years, that's quite a lot to do. Okay, Spartan Commander saying look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.